Okay, so recently it's been a pretty interesting time ever since a tweet that we looked at the other day to do with a Hololive member IRyS, essentially talking about, a tweet that she put out, talking about the fact that she spoke to ChatGPT, and apparently a lot of people crashed out over that. Now, it seems like a lot of these people are mainly just antis looking to stir the pot and looking to stir the situation even more, because of course they want to cause as much damage as they can to Hololive and their talents. But it seems like a lot of people have been getting involved, and a lot of people have been talking about this situation and calling out the kind of funny, what do you call it, like a double standards, I guess, is that what you call it? Because it seems like a lot of people have a problem with IRyS talking to ChatGPT for whatever reason. But, whenever it comes to things like Neuro Sama, well, that's totally okay for them. And obviously Neuro Sama is great. We've talked about it so many times, and is one of the examples where a lot of people will turn a blind eye to, and essentially like and engage with Neuro Sama, despite the fact that she is partially AI. Now, it is slightly different because it is run on like an LLM, and it's local and all of that kind of stuff, so it is different to maybe using ChatGPT, of course. But many people have been kind of discussing it and have been comparing it to Neuro, because of course, on the virtual YouTubers post here, they say, I find it ironic to see a VTuber harassed over a snippet of a conversation with an AI, knowing there are people that thrive because of AI VTubers. Now, of course, here's the kind of thing saying, if a snippet of a conversation could gather so much harassment, imagine streaming with one, right? And there's been so many VTubers that have streamed with Neuro Sama before, and they have never gotten the amount of harassment that IRyS has received just for plainly speaking with ChatGPT one time, which is something that a lot of people do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be ChatGPT, by the way. It could be, for example, like Google Gemini, or, even using the Google summary system uses AI, right? You guys ever search something up on Google and it gives you like the little summary at the top? A lot of people tend to use that, but they're also the same people that tend to go after people like IRyS for using ChatGPT when they're doing exactly the same thing, just not in the same way that maybe, others would. Now, obviously, some people saying the sort of trash reporting is why I hate gaming news sites like Dexerto. A bit of negative comments and a quick apology isn't worth publishing an entire article on, especially when the article blows in and out of proportion and draws more attention and negativity to a non-issue that has been fully dealt with. And it's clear that the author knows nothing about Hololive or IRyS, given that he used an IRyS 1.0 image for the article. Ironically, I wouldn't be surprised if the own article was AI generated, which obviously might be the case, you never know. But people have been pretty mad with Dexerto, especially with some of the articles that they have been making recently, and they did the same with Neuro Sama as well, actually. I'm pretty sure they got some stuff wrong with like how vedal it kind of interacts with it. I think they said that they were trying to claim that Neuro Sama was on stream by herself the entire time and it's fully autonomous, leaving out the fact that vedal features on the stream most of the time, if not she's interacting with another VTuber that she's doing a collab with or whatever, which of course Dexerto are known for kind of spinning that around, right? People saying the reaction was odd. The Hololive girls have already played plenty of AI games on stream before, from Mimesis to Inzoi Vaudeville. Is that how you say it? Cecilia Immergold, anyone. Kiara even did a stream where ChatGPT answered questions and everyone was fine. People forget the reason why Furumoko sang Kendrick Lamar and why that 50-50 Cupid song became so big. Spoiler, it's because it was from AI-generated covers featuring VTubers' voices that went viral. I remember Fauna jokingly complaining that she couldn't sing as good as her AI voice. And this has 100% been the case, and that's what a lot of people have been calling out as well, right? It's the fact that saying, man, I can't believe IRyS has talked to an AI. Thank God no other talent has done anything similar. And obviously then they go and bring up this, the evolution of AI Kaori, and then obviously as well, here is all of the stuff that they were talking about in the comments, saying, Immo Gold bot, why is she so mean to me? I'll have to kill her. Obviously Cecilia with an AI bot there, and as well, Korone, laughs, coughs, and almost dies after seeing AI, and obviously, many people interacted with that, as well as Kiara interacting with Neuro Sama in a collaboration. But apparently none of these are issues for these people, apart from whenever it comes to IRyS. And I find it so weird, right? And I don't think any of these should be issues, by the way. I'm not saying that, we need to go after all of these people now because they've all, talked to AI. No, I think the beginning argument is stupid to begin with. IRyS should be allowed to speak to ChatGPT whenever she wants. She, and all of these people should be allowed to interact with AI whenever they want, because of course that is their own choice. They shouldn't be able, she shouldn't be harassed. they shouldn't be attacked for this kind of stuff, because it is a pretty normal part of, you know, the internet now. I think people need to kind of understand that, right? And of course, you know, you can have your own opinions about AI generated art and things like that. Of course, I know some people, you know, dislike it, either because they don't like the look of it, they don't like the, you know, morals behind it, or whatever. I don't care, right? And of course, you're allowed to believe that yourself. That's totally fine. But I think going after other people for interacting with something that is pretty common now, and as I said, is integrated into things like Google searches and everything like this now, you kind of got to get with the times, right? I feel like, you know, these chat ones, I'm talking specifically about the chat ones and the ones that do like information kind of things, rather less so like the image generation part, but more so, you know, like your ChatGPTs, your Geminis, your Google summaries, right? They all do kind of information work. They all do text-based chats. I think that's a normal thing now. People use it in their everyday life, whether you're a computer nerd or not, right? You know, loads of people use it, even if they aren't very familiar with technology. That's how common it is now, and that is what it's like. You know, it's almost like you're like a 40-year-old man or whatever. I'd say probably a bit older than that, to be honest. And you're like, you know, you can't understand how like a Nintendo Switch works, because obviously the technology's older. That's how it feels to me, at least. It feels like a lot of people, you know, against it, and it's going to be one of those things like, you know, newer technology now was to the older generation. So again, I do think that's going to be a big conversation going forwards, but I think purely with the IRyS situation, this was something that was just used to weaponize against her and Hololive, in terms of a lot of the antis, right, were kind of spreading this kind of hatred towards her, because you know, they want to find any reason whatsoever to kind of find any, you know, backlash, find any kind of fire that they can light under their asses. And yeah, it seems like, you know, they were somewhat successful with that, as she then deleted the post and yeah, obviously apologized for that. But again, you know, loads of people, especially in the quotes and everything, and all of the conversations that people have been having is like, yo, like, this is so weird. Why are people trying to, you know, go after her? Why are people, you know, saying this kind of stuff? And, you know, people sound like Neuro Sama, right? Neuro Sama is a huge VTuber. A lot of people in the VTubing community like Neuro Sama, despite her being obviously an AI VTuber. Obviously, the specifics of the AI are a little bit different to talking to ChatGPT, but, you know, at the end of the day, it is still classed as an AI VTuber, right? And that's what a lot of people have been discussing, right? Because nobody has an issue with Neuro Sama. Nobody has an issue with all of these VTubers chatting to pretty much similar things, or even chatting to Neuro. But for some reason, whenever it comes to IRyS talking to ChatGPT, which is a pretty normal thing these days, it causes this kind of, you know, massive controversy, right? And, you know, we did talk about that more in detail in the last video, and it is pretty, you know, crazy. People say, Mimesis isn't an AI game. I'm pretty sure the dev has just stated directly that it uses no AI, generative AI. That you're completely right. So yeah, I think some people are confused about that game. But yeah, obviously people go on to talk about it and talk about the acceptance of AI. You know, people say, can we stop writing news articles about teenage trolls on Twitter? Who cares, right? And yeah, 100% true. Said, I think and hope that the main point of the backlash is not her using AI, but ChatGPT, whose company has openly agreed for it to be used in weapon systems. If Vedal came out and said Neuro would be used to fly drones and hit civilian targets, I better hope there would be some backlash, which, yeah, I can understand, you know, maybe that is a concern for some people. But, you know, obviously the biggest concern that people have had is the water. Oh, bro, like, oh my God, the water. Oh, I can't. Someone think about the water, man. You know. But again, I think it is pretty crazy. That's the thing that people are most concerned about. And I do understand this person's point in the sense of, like, you know, in terms of ChatGPT and, you know, the company behind it now signing like military deals and things that can, of course, have a big effect on, you know, wars in the future. But I think if people are just getting mad over it because they don't like AI, just in general, because, I don't know, AI bad, then of course I don't see any kind of way to be really being mad at someone IRyS. And even then, I don't think I care, right? Because oh no, Neuro can't be trusted with a toy car. Imagine a drone. Evil can though, which, yeah, I think is quite funny. You know, people say, strongly agree, it's absolutely wild and somewhat ridiculous that we are literally saying if anyone builds it, everyone dies, playing out before our eyes, and the companies behind these AI seem to be in a race to who can build it first, which, yeah, is, you know, kind of true. A lot of people discussing this, saying Neuro isn't as different as fans would have you believe. It is impossible to build a model like that without mass data scraping. What Vedal did was take a base model which was built with unethical data scraping and fine-tune it afterwards. This is the same thing Embark did with the finals and Arc Raiders. People who actually know what these programs are would be hypocritical to like one but hate the other. The issue is most people don't know this. But again, even at the end of the day, I don't think people care, like, you know, what's behind it and unethical data scrapes and all of this kind of stuff. It's here, it exists, you know, people are going to use it, and I don't think a lot of people, you know, care anymore, apart from the people that just want to stir up a lot of drama to do with this. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to talk about this because I did think it was pretty ironic to see, you know, how much hate IRyS has been getting compared to, you know, a lot of the other members of Hololive, but also, you know, other VTubers, as well as like Neuro Sama and things like that, who get virtually zero hate or anything like that, which is, you know, totally right. They don't deserve any hate whatsoever. But for some reason, IRyS is different. I don't know why. You know, maybe they just dislike her in particular, or maybe it was just bad timing. I don't know. But it seems like, yeah, they're particularly going after her and targeting her for no reason, which I just thought was pretty stupid. But yeah, that's essentially all there is for this conversation. I just kind of wanted to, you know, talk about it a little bit because I thought it was pretty interesting. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.